Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm so excited to see where you're from. If you are here for the first time, let us know where you're joining from. I am joining from Seattle, so we are really excited to have all of you with us today. This is exciting that we get to connect and learn and explore opportunity with JPMorgan Chase. So, welcome again. And can you believe it? On this exact day, a month ago, we hosted the Women in Cloud Summit. We had a blast celebrating, learning, and creating opportunities for each other. So, did any one of you attend the WIC Summit a month ago? Put +1 on the chat. Yes, how was it? Give me thumbs up. Did you enjoy it? Did you learn something? And did you implement any actions that you took, you wrote down? Yes, so let us know in the chat what those actions are. Today will be pretty fun experience, and I want to make sure that you all enjoy. Going to the next slide, please, is the work that we will be doing a lot today with the JPMorgan Chase is they will come and talk about the culture, the experience, all the detail that you want to know, which you're being curious about. We'll have a very powerful panel followed by a networking experience with the JPMorgan Chase ecosystem. So it's going to be fun. And the way I would like all of you to engage is be active. Make sure you're giving every speaker who are coming on the stage a kudos and acknowledgement for taking action to be with us. Okay, going to the next slide. And then also, if you feel like you learned something and you feel like you had a great time today, please take a picture and share it on the social media and hashtag JPMorgan Chase and Women in Cloud, because this is important because we want to create more access for each other. The goal is to connect and build responsibilities. So as we all took actions, we also took actions after the summit. What we do is we are constantly listening and taking action in the ecosystem. First, the unfolding situation in Ukraine. I want to acknowledge that. Our teams are completely engaged and monitoring the situation very closely, prioritizing our community safety and also well-being about all of us. So we recognize it's a highly stressful situation for many. So please be sure to prioritize taking care of yourself and your eligible dependents. So we are exploring resources to support and the communities working behind the scene. The second thing we also heard was that you all wanted to become world-class leaders and entrepreneurs. So we will be bringing exciting programs and experiences this year. So in the last 2 weeks after the summit was over, we facilitated over 100 plus warm introductions. And some of you from the JPMorgan Chase community already know that they're already taking the introductions with you. We also secured 500 additional cloud scholarships to really ensure that women can get into the tech workforce. Third, we also formalized the most awaited annual pass so that you can gain infinite economic access. So thank you so much for being part of the Women in Cloud family and collectively creating the most influential community in the tech industry. And my warm welcome to all the JPMorgan Chase leaders who are with us today. So thank you for joining our ecosystem and collectively solving the global crisis that is in front of us. So for many of you who are new, I'm Chaitra Bedalapalli. I'm the co-founder and president of Women in Cloud. So we are a community-led economic development organization taking collective action to generate $1 billion in net new access for women entrepreneurs and professionals by 2030 through global partnership with corporations, community leaders, and also policymakers. If you can move to the next slide. So all of which are united by ESG and the UN Sustainable Development Goals that are driven by job creation, diversity and inclusion, technology innovation, and sustainability, giving women a most powerful platform to accelerate as industry leaders. So through the Fortune 100 partnership and the innovative programming, Women in Cloud accelerates global ESG goals by collectively empowering women we serve by igniting equitable economic access, building a connective and inclusive community, and making the future of tech sustainable through a policy-driven industry excellence that inspires purpose-driven leadership. So today at the Fortune 100 Lunch and Learn series, it's actually designed just to achieve that goal. So where we can connect, we can learn and explore opportunities at JPMorgan Chase. So our partnership with JPMorgan Chase has been one of the incredible partnership. So I want to give a loud shout out to Manusa Hari and also Monica, who have made this possible. They focus on impact and help us take bold steps. So we have an amazing session created. They have access to 4,000 job opportunities and also access to the leaders and recruiters and for entrepreneurs so you can connect with the buyers and suppliers today. So to start the amazing interactive session, I would like to invite Bhavya Agarwal. She's the head of global technology, diversity, and inclusion for JPMorgan Chase, focused on incorporating diversity lens into how the firm develops technology, serves the client, and help communities and support employees. She's charged with delivering a firm-wide diversity agenda to 55,000 technologists and focused on critical priorities such as culture, supplier diversity, emerging technology, and ethical code. In addition, she has governance and oversight of all the D&I leads and pillars across 21 global technology centers. So with that, Bhavya, so excited to have you here and to kick off today's session. And with her partnership, I think this is what we are able to do, is bring an amazing experience to all of you. So thank you, Bhavya. The baton is in your hands.
Thank you so much, Chaitra. I really appreciate that warm welcome. And thank you all for being here. Our mission at JPMorgan is to be the best financial services company in the world. And to that end, our people, culture, are the most important asset. As Chaitra said, I'm Bhavya Agarwal, and I lead diversity, equity, inclusion for the firm's global technology organization, where I'm responsible for incorporating a diverse lens into how the firm develops technology, serves its clients, and supports employees. My journey into this work has taken various paths. Despite being an electrical engineer, I started my career as a commodity trader, then a portfolio manager, and somewhere along that path, I was called back to technology, where I led the decommissioning of legacy platforms and the adoption of new ones. Today, my expertise across finance and technology allows me fully harness the power of diversity as a differentiator and a lever for growth. With over 250,000 employees in 100 countries, diversity of thought and perspectives is a tremendous asset and a real competitive advantage. Our focus on inclusion has led us to really harness great innovation because the diversity of our perspectives and backgrounds are critical to the development of new ideas. It has also promoted wellness, and I mean mental wellness, as our employees feel comfortable to bring their whole selves to work. It's ultimately led to an engaged workforce. We bring this same inclusive philosophy and extend it to our external partnerships. We are drawn to partnerships that leverage our global reach to further our mission of being the best for the community and for the world at large. We also seek partnerships who view technology as a strategic imperative. In 2019 and 2020, we hosted an external partnership symposium where we brought together all of our partners and held a day-long event geared towards networking and relationship building. We are really hoping to be able to do that again soon. In closing, though, I just want to emphasize how our global presence has shaped our deep and profound respect for diversity. Our diversity creates different points of views, friction, and at times, outright conflicting ideas. Harnessing that friction to create a solution is where the innovation emerges. I'm honored to have had the opportunity to talk to you today, and I thank you for having me. With that, I'd love to introduce you to Stephen Flaherty, who's our head of architecture, cloud, and engineering. Over to you, Stephen.
Thank you, Bhavya. That was fantastic. That we both have in common is electrical engineering. So we both have electrical engineering in our back, in our skill set. So that's awesome. So thank you for being here. I want to do a quick intro for Stephen so that people know who he is. Is that okay, Stephen?
Fire away.
Perfect. I would love to do is, well, Stephen has worked for JPMorgan Chase for 18 years, so you all need to know him. Prior to his role, he was the head of architecture and data for AWM, ran the firm-wide Agile Transformation Program, and has led various roles in equities, investment management, and firmware architecture. Stephen is a distinguished engineer who has currently focused on enabling our engineers to move to cloud environments. So his focus is on toolchain, automation, and multi-cloud platform. And he's the location leader from Glasgow Technology Hub, covering over 2,000 plus technologists. And he holds the bachelor's in mathematical science and master's in information technology. And Stephen, very excited to have you here. And I will hand over the baton to you.
Thanks very much, and thank you to the entire team for the invite. It's an absolute honor to be here and spend a little bit of time with you. So, and that was pretty precise with regard to my regard to the intro there. Maybe I'll enrich a couple of other dimensions which we hold very high regard at JPMorgan, and that's the proud father of 3 girls, 2 of which are coding better than I can already. And I've spent a lot of time in JP Morgan, and I see that as an absolute privilege, not being wedded to JP Morgan as in any negative connotation in my mind. The amount of variability and flexibility I've had with working across different continents and different projects has been vital, in my opinion, to how I've grown up in JP Morgan to hopefully be more of a rounded leader and hopefully help others get, follow a similar path. So maybe I should open up with just talking about just JP Morgan much more broadly. The operating committee in JP Morgan, apart from the operating committee being a very diverse group and core team, they impart with us, with every employee in JP Morgan, a core framework that follows 4 key dimensions that helps everybody in the organization every day push in a clear direction. So those 4 surround building an exceptional client franchise, developing business with unwavering principles, delivering long-term shareholder value, and investing in our company for future growth. The reason why I usually start when I'm doing any talks talking about that framework is because that framework is literally the bedrock by which everything else in JP Morgan flows. And that bedrock is again the foundation on which we're building our digital transformation. So, and without going through all the different dimensions of that, the core aspects of that digital transformation is how we're going to bring our products and capabilities to our clients when and how they want them. Now, that can stem from the creation of our products and the delivery of those products in a world-class way to the actual platforms that we create in which we launch those products. And sitting within the technology division, JP Morgan, the operating committee, and Jamie specifically has always been a very strong supporter of the investment in technology. Everything, I think last year spending close to $11 billion, and this year investing even further. And that's been an unwavering commitment because we recognize that technology investment pays huge dividends with how we engage our clients and how we deliver best-in-class service. Now, to give you a flavor of what our focus is in our global technology division, we're broadly focused across these kind of key dimensions, and I'm going to talk about some of them in a bit more detail. So engaging customer and client experience obviously is part of that core framework, is a priority. Engaging our employee experiences, empowering our technology talent that we have, implementing modern engineering practices across that talent, leveraging quality data and analytics, providing operational excellence, and then how we think about providing to the wider community a level of resiliency and scalability that they haven't seen before. The final piece that I'll mention is around cybersecurity and controls, which clearly for a bank of our scale and the impact that we have on the wider community, our cybersecurity and controls area is always at the forefront of every single element that we work on. The reason why I mention that is my current focus and a lot of the team's focus in my area just now is on data, and how do we enable that data to be leveraged, and providing AI and ML capabilities that allow us to take our experiences to the next generation. How do we make sure that we're providing to all of our different bankers and our clients like that best-in-class service? And we do that by interrogating and analyzing a lot of the data that we have. So we're in the throes just now of a very large transformation, not just how every business unit in JPMorgan evolves digitally, but also how the technology division and our over 55,000 people in that technology division evolve. And against that backdrop, one of the key focus areas always from Jamie and the operating committee down has been innovation. Again, sometimes people can look at JPMorgan and because of our legacy, think that, you know, there's a very consistent way every year of how we go about our business. And that framework is true. But within there, every single one of our areas of the bank and right through to technology and operations is constantly innovating. And that can be everything from our physical branches right through to how we think about our new interbank network and our blockchain instantiations. Now, the reason why I say that is because at the start I thought, you know, I was introduced with like 18 years, and I think I'm actually maybe just bridging on 20 years now. And the reason why I stay with JPMorgan, I have stayed with JPMorgan, is because it is a phenomenal company. But you get this level of variability that I've ran mainframe teams, AS400 development teams, which maybe for some doesn't seem that exciting, but for me it was phenomenal. I was working on accounting platforms right up the stack to running all of our European websites for JPMorgan. And each one of those different areas taught me personally a lot of lessons. But the most important lesson of all is actually, you know, how Bella opened up with our people. And, you know, it doesn't really matter, like technologies come and go, and, you know, languages come and go, and platforms come and go. But the one thing that JPMorgan puts at the forefront of everything is that talent. And that long-term commitment to diversity and inclusion that started at JPMorgan before I was there and will continue at JPMorgan when I'm not there, which is hopefully still a long way off. But that creating that workplace environment where, you know, diversity of thought and action is embraced at multiple levels. And again, to bring that to home, just me personally, I've had the pleasure of working in Asset Wealth Management Division, which for almost all of my tenure was ran by the phenomenal business leader, Mary Ardoz. I had the privilege of sitting on many offsites and updates with Mary. You know, again, you know, Mary's very well known in the industry, but how she goes about her business in that first-class way is second to none. And I had the privilege of leaving Asset Wealth Management and moving into working in the Central Global Technology Division when our firm-wide CIO, Laurie Beer, took over. And the last 3 years working in the Chief Technology Office, having, you know, almost sometimes day-to-day interactions with Laurie is, again, one of the highlights of my career. So the reason why I say that is because in a technology division in a company of this scale, sometimes, you know, people can look on the words and actions and sometimes try and work out, are they really correlated in the right way? everything that Abella said about how we are promoting our diversity and inclusion, to right through how I see it impacting the very, core capabilities and core organizations in JP Morgan is very real. And again, it's a huge privilege for me to be here. And I hope this event is just as successful as all the others. And I hope at the next one, if I can get an invite, I'll be able to see some people in person as well, which would be awesome. So with that, I'll pass back to Chai.
Thank you, Stephen. That was fantastic. Couple of things. I looked at your backdrop. You think in frameworks, and I love probably you use a lot of mental models to really design the future of the digital transformation for JP Morgan Chase. And Abella, I am just fortunate to know you so well, that how you are leading D&I and using also probably the electrical engineering practices is how to create the right system to create the right output. So thank you here. And before we get started to the power panel, this is going to be the largest power panel we have ever done. So kudos to Manusa for being here. And Stephen, you can just do mic off, camera off, and you can just leave the stage. Thank you. Appreciate it. So this is going to be the largest power panel we have ever done. So Manusa, kudos to you. Before we go into the panel, I want to ask all of you is, what do you want to learn today from JP Morgan Chase? Take a moment and put it in the chat. What do you want to learn from the JP Morgan Chase leaders who are going to be coming on the stage? And I would like to take a moment to introduce Manusa Hari. So she's amazing individual and a leader. I got to know her probably a couple of years ago through Monica. So very fortunate to know. So I want to really take a moment to introduce her, and she really heads the product management at JP Morgan Chase, which is all about big data systems and platforms. So prior to the JP Morgan Chase, she headed the product management for the advanced analytics solution for cloud and enterprise customers of Teradata. And Teradata is also one of our Fortune brands who are part of it, which is pretty fascinating and amazing. So Manusa is a thought leader, and also she has demonstrated history of working in the information technology and services industry. Outside of work, Manusa is passionate about diversity in project management and also actively participates in speaking at Women of Silicon Valley and several panel discussions related to the technical product management. So Manusa is on advisory board of big data certification programs for San Francisco State and also Cal State East Bay to support education curriculum for data and analytics space. So in her free time, she loves to spend her time with her family and loves painting. And thank you, Manusa, for leading this partnership with Monica and us to really create a world that is inclusive and making the tech accessible for everyone. So let's give a big round of applause for Manusa. Come on over. Are you excited to be here leading the biggest and the largest panel that we have ever done?
So first of all, Chai, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the entire JP Morgan family to thank you to giving us a platform to enhance JP Morgan and also attract a lot of talent for us as we are going into this year of digital transformation. So it's an honor for me to actually moderate the panel discussion today. I know we have a very great lineup of leaders from JP Morgan joining us today. And to your point, we're going to cover a breadth of topics and understand from them their perspectives on these topics as well. So thank you for the warm introduction. It is kind of you.
Awesome. And Manusa, we have a lot of chat if you see what people are looking for. So as a panelist, please, the text is there and the content is there. So with that, I'm going to go off the stage. Take it over, Manusa.
Awesome. Thank you, Chai. Hello, everybody. I'm honored to actually moderate a panel discussion today. We're going to be bringing leaders across JP Morgan to speak about the great culture of respect JP Morgan has and how we are looking at the improvements in the technology landscape, the hiring at JP Morgan, navigating through JP Morgan and all the business transformation aspects. So today's topics that we're going to be covering will help our audience, all the listeners, to understand JPMorgan better, and it will also get you guys excited to speak about us and with us about the opportunities in one of the most respected banks in the world. So we can't wait to get started, and I would like to invite Monica Panpallia on the stage. Monica is one of our most respected leaders. She heads the Global Technology Product and Agility Office. She's instrumental in leading the product operational model, strategy, and execution at JPMorgan. So, hi, Monica. Thanks for joining. So, Monica, since you're here, we are starting our discussion with you, with the panel. I want to make it a little bit of fun conversation, and I'd like to ask you an icebreaker question. And what I want to ask you about is tell us all something that you believed earlier in your career, and as you moved on in your career, how do you think about it differently right now?
Yeah, thanks, Manusa, and hello to all of my women in cloud friends. From a career standpoint, what my younger self would have thought is that I needed to have all the answers all the time. Maybe that's the engineer in us. But I think what I've learned over the years is it's actually good to be authentic and vulnerable and lean on the team. So today, Mansa, I may not have all the answers to your questions, but we'll lean on the team here.
No, Monica, that's great. I think as any employee or any human, I think being authentic and vulnerable, are the core values that we should all imbibe. So thanks for those nuggets there. So coming to talk about JPMorgan and why we are here, we would love to hear from you and learn from you about JPMorgan's company culture. How are we fostering growth, inclusion, and belonging with the company? So any insights you would share would be really helpful for us.
Yeah, I've been with the company since 2020, so about 2 years. And what I've been struck by is the foundation that we have. It's 200 plus years of phenomenal history and innovation in the financial services industry. We serve nearly half of America's households and manage a third of the world's wealth. That's about $500 billion in market cap. But we are not complacent. We want to remain the market leader. We want to maintain that position in the industry and want to make sure that the technology rate of change that we have right now, we are keeping at pace with that. So when I think about growth months, we are reinventing our operating model, and that's the product operating model and the transformation that I've had the fortune of leading. And we are transforming the ways that we work so that this is a culture of innovation and we can capitalize on that and build world-class capabilities, whether it's for our clients or whether it's for our consumers or our communities at large.
That's awesome, Monica. I think we are all very excited about the chapter that you're leading in terms of product operationalization. I think having the product mindset is very critical for organizations to move forward. I think we're also focused on imbibing data culture also throughout the company, which is very exciting for us to see you lead as well. So thank you for this information. Yeah.
Thank you, Mansa.
Awesome. So with that, we would now like to invite Lauren Goodwin onto the stage, please. Lauren Goodwin is Chief Technology Officer of Corporate Technology, and her responsibility is with Morgan Health. In this role, she leads a team of technologists committed to JPMorgan's goals for social, environmental, and healthcare equity and sustainability needs. So, Lauren, I know that's a great charter that you have and responsibility that you have for JPMorgan. Very exciting to have you on the stage right now. So I have a similar question that I had with Monica as well to start with as an icebreaker, and then we will dive deep into the question about JPMorgan that I have for you. So tell us all something about what you believed in your career, earlier in your career, and think of it differently right now.
Sure. First, I just want to say thank you again for helping organize such a wonderful event. I feel very privileged to be here with everyone. I think it was hard to go back early in my career. So I think I'll probably have a similar story that most of us have, in that early on in our careers, we're asked things like, pick a role, or what title do you want to work towards? And early in my career, I really questioned myself, because I never wanted to do this exercise. I never felt that I should limit myself to being one thing or doing one thing in my life or my career. Now, fast forward, I found that committing to not being confined to a box, and rather making my decisions about my experiences and the impact I can make, has made all the difference in my career and in my personal life. So I guess I can say defining my career not by what I wanted to be, but rather who I wanted to be, has been a differentiator for me between my early days of my career and now.
Lauren, that's amazing. It's very inspiring the way you put it. Not getting boxed, and just also thinking outside the box as well. I think for a lot of listeners right now, it's a great nugget that they can take away in their career journey as well. So, Lauren, one question I have for you today is, so now that we're slowly returning back to normalcy after, the effects of the global pandemic, the way, that we have worked over the last 2 years, has changed dynamically. So and at JP Morgan, we are continuing to make this company where our employees, customers, clients, and communities can be very proud of. So what we would love to hear from you is, how does a day in a life for an employee look like in JP Morgan? Like, what does it feel like? What kind of success and growth can they see at JP Morgan? And what kind of behaviors and skills would you be able to share that is appreciated and recognized?
Sure, that's a really great question. I think one of the best things is my voice is just one of many. You've heard lots of numbers that my colleagues have shared today. So while I'm happy to share my experiences, but every team member here at JP Morgan has a very different and unique experience in and outside of our company, which I think is one of our greatest assets. So from my perspective, I did come to the firm 2 years ago leading a security architecture function. And I have recently been able to move into a CTO role. And I'm really grateful to be in and have this opportunity, because we've grown an incredible team of engineers, security architects, data scientists, and various other roles focused on solving some of the most significant areas in the world, like climate change, social justice, and quality and equitable healthcare. Our team may be working on a climate change problem in one session in the morning. By the afternoon, we've pivoted into growing our new healthcare company inside JP Morgan. So we are using things like geospatial technology, AI, ML, natural language processing to quite literally change the world for the better. So outside of JP Morgan, here at JP Morgan, I'm also a proud mom and a wife. So I'm able to balance between my role here at JP Morgan while also serving in these important aspects of my personal life. And then I'm also pursuing my doctorate. And JP Morgan has enabled me to pursue my education while still having these opportunities in the company. And my focus is on helping change the education system, leveraging neuroscience and AI. So like I said earlier on, I don't like being confined to a box, and I like to be more than just one thing. And JP Morgan's culture has enabled me to do that in my career and in my life.
Wow. So Lauren, that's extremely impressive. And I can also vouch towards that, being a mom of 2 boys. So having a good work-life balance is very critical. And, like you said, JP Morgan completely, takes care of that work-life balance. And, we're enjoying working in the company. And to your point, working alongside and studying as well, it's completely an amazing career journey that you've got. Thanks for sharing all the insights and nuggets. Yes, awesome. So with that, I would like to call our next panelists here. So we'd like to invite Kanti Shrestha onto the stage. So Kanti is our head of enterprise technology communications. In her role, she leads executive communications and strategy, employee engagement for the chief technology office, as well as channel management for key programs, including product transformation, cybersecurity awareness, and more. So Kanti, thank you so much for taking your time and being with us today and sharing your experiences. So I have a similar question for you as well. So what was that you believed earlier in your career that you think of differently now?
First of all, thank you so much, Manusa. And it's been, again, so honored to be sharing the stage with our esteemed colleagues from JPMorgan Chase. And thank you for including me. So I was thinking about this question, and I think, when I first started my career in financial services industry, which is now more than 12, 13 years ago, I was under the assumption, at least the environment that I was in at the time, that I couldn't be myself at work, that I had to be someone else to fit in and to progress in my career. And initially I tried. I probably failed miserably, and I'm so grateful that I did fail, right? Because we spend most of our waking hours either working or at work, and if you cannot be yourself, then you don't really enjoy your work. And I think that actually would have the reverse impact on your career progression. So I'd say, again, and everything everyone has already talked about so far from JPMorgan, obviously, we all bring our whole selves to work. And so I'd encourage everyone to just do that.
Awesome. Kanti, those are great insights. And, it's great to hear everybody's career journey. And one thing that I'm finding as a pattern is, JP loves the culture of being your authentic self. I think that is something that I'm, hearing from all the panelists. So thanks for sharing that. So as the question for you I have is, as we are striving to be the best and the most respected bank in the world, so our firm's business principles, it guides our actions, and it helps strengthen our diverse culture of respect, equity, inclusion. So I was wondering if you can help us understand on how the firm helps us collectively, build a great team and a winning culture for JPMorgan.
Oh, that's a great question. So, I cannot beat Stephen in terms of tenure at JPMorgan Chase, but I have been with the firm now for a little over 6 years. I have been in the capacity of supporting global technology organization in various capacities. And I was thinking about this, and again, there are some bad days. Everyone has bad days at work, but most days of the week, I think, I remain as motivated and inspired to be here about the work and about the company as I was my first month and my first year, right? And that has a lot to do, obviously, the work is exciting, the change of, the rapid transformation journey that global technology is on is very exciting. But beyond that, it is the people, it is the culture, it is the team, it is the firm-wide and technology leadership. One thing that stands out for me about this company, even after, again, being here as long as I have, is the firm's leadership and the technology leadership. They don't just talk the talk, but they walk the walk, right? Whether it's, again, I think regardless of sorry about the city noise. Again, regardless of, where you are geographically based or what your corporate level is, all subject matter experts, all employees are encouraged to share their perspectives, do the work. They're trusted. The leadership here does spend quite a bit of time spending, again, time with employees at different levels of the organization, in person, virtually, informal and informal settings. So there is that really sense of community that we have. I think Monica touched on this as well earlier. From an innovation perspective, we have a culture, and again, just tons of opportunities for employees to collaborate, to come up with business solutions through things like hackathons and tech center events and innovation week. And again, we also, building a network is obviously instrumental to anyone's career, and we have tons of opportunities for employees to build and be part of communities of practice, right? And in addition, I think the winning culture, like I said, comes with team. And you heard Abella, you heard Stephen, and then you heard everyone talk about the focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion that we have at the firm. And I can selfishly say, again, I'm biased, but I think my team is the best team. But it's also represents, when I look at my team, we represent diversity of all forms, whether it's ethnicity, geography, age, professional backgrounds. We have someone that was an actress in her prior career. We have former journalists, like we have former technologists. So it's just that diversity and that acceptance of diverse thoughts is what makes us stronger as a company, and again, helps us continue to deliver bigger and better and faster for our customers, clients.
Kanti, it's so beautifully put. I think, you covered a lot of aspects, on how, different cultures, different, inclusivity is met at JP Morgan, and also how the leadership actually, it's not just a talk, they're actually actioning upon, a lot of their, the things that they actually mean. So it is a huge deal, when we're looking at an organization at the scale, progressing. And even in pandemic, being 2 years old in JP Morgan, I can attest that everything that you said was never stopped during pandemic, and everything was virtual, and we were still driving a lot of these events and a lot of these hiring and a lot of the inclusivity concepts as well. So it's totally inspiring. Yes.
Absolutely. And we're not scared to have the difficult conversations. I think we've created forums for employees to be open, bring themselves, whether it's conversations about racial tensions or anything difficult going on in the world. So that level of transparency, I feel like, is fairly unique to an institution of this size. But
yeah, no, it's greatly put. Thank you so much for the insights.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. So as next, we would like to invite our leaders who are looking into the tech modernization landscape, and we would love to understand from them, how this digital modernization is evolving in JP Morgan 2022. I would like to invite Sarita Bakst onto the stage. So Sarita is Head of Information Architecture for the firm-wide data management and governance solutions for finance, risk, data, and controls. And she's instrumental in defining the data reliability, privacy, use, and regulatory needs and insights for the whole firm as we build new technology solutions. So as we are looking at a lot of other impactful organizations like Facebook or any other organization dealing with a lot of data governance, so the bank actually is on the forefront for a lot of these regulatory concerns, and Sarita is instrumental and integral part of the decision making for the data governance. So Sarita, thank you so much for taking time. So welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me here.
It's definitely we're fortunate that you've joined us. And the same question to you. So tell us something about something you believed earlier in your career, and how do you think of it differently right now?
Oh gosh, there were so many things that I've learned throughout my career, but if I have to pick one, I started off coming out of college thinking that in order for me to get ahead, I have to win and beat others at the game of work. And, thinking about it as a zero-sum game, I win, you lose, and that's how I will get ahead at your expense. And of course, that is entirely untrue. And what I've learned throughout my career, and especially in working with the esteemed panelists here and at the firm, it's that we cheer each other on, we help each other succeed, and through helping each other and getting ahead, we ourselves as individuals will also succeed. But we're all in this together, and we're all working towards a common goal, and through that, our careers will grow.
Thank you so much. I mean, that's actually very, very inspiring, Sarita, because I think it takes a village to actually, build a team, a successful project, a successful team, and, evolve in the company strategy as well. So thank you for championing that. Now, coming to JP Morgan, we wanted to ask you to get your insights. So JP is hiring a lot of, cloud-focused jobs. We have a lot of openings today that we are seeing. And one of the key trends in cloud data management we are seeing today is a huge emphasis on data governance and observability. So being a leader in firm-wide data governance space, I'm wondering if you could share some thoughts with us on what are the skills that the listeners, the aspirants should be focusing on to work in a regulated company such as JP Morgan.
Sure, and data, like our careers, takes a village. And there are so many different profiles of people that participate in managing and governing our data. There are the technologists that are building the capabilities. to ingest, transform, manage, oversee the data. There are information architects that help us describe that data. There are the CDOs or data stewards that impose and are responsible for a lot of the data management governance. And of course, there are business subject matter experts that understand the very nuanced scope of pieces of data that they either create or need. And what's common to all of those profiles are an understanding of how to deconstruct larger problems, larger content into their components, and really think about those chunks. And in this case, data, but it's all kind of consistent with technology design or other business practices. But with respect specifically to data, it's harnessing data as a product that is reusable in different contexts. It's understanding that we have a value proposition to that data. We can create a marketplace to deliver that business value. But on the other side, there's the responsibilities that we have. We have responsibilities to our clients. We have a lot of client data here at the firm. We have responsibilities to ourselves internally, where we have firm-wide information. And we have responsibilities to our regulators and the governments that have laws to protect people and institutions and their data. We have the responsibility to behave legally and ethically. We don't want to be on the cover of the newspaper for doing anything wrong, and we don't want to do anything wrong that would be ethically irresponsible. So that is how I think about, the value and the governance of our data.
Awesome. So Sarita, your suggestion is for people who are looking, hearing you today, is that they should be looking at a broader spectrum of the personas who are going to be impacted with the data, and also, also learning and, having that, learning attitude to understand, what a regulatory company like JPMorgan would be looking
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, we have a number of openings that are posted in our career site. There isn't a single profile that everybody should be confined into, like Lauren said, right? There's not one single role, but rather there's a wealth of different profiles that work together to both harness that power of the data and govern and control it.
Awesome. So this is a great insight, Sarita. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we'd love to call on our next panelist from here, and we'd like to bring Tulasi Ketani on to the stage, please. Tulasi is head of software engineering in Commercial Bank, and she's instrumental in leading engineering best practices as we are looking to enable data and analytics solution at scale. So we can have her. So Tulasi, I'm hoping you're on stage. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. So hey, Tulasi, thanks for joining. And the same question I have for you. So tell me something about, something you believed early in your career, and how did it change, and how do you think of it differently now?
Hey, Manusa, first I'd like to thank you for helping organize this event. Very glad to be here. So earlier in my career, I very strongly believed that the only thing that mattered for my growth or success was my technical skills, and nothing else really mattered or was important. While there is really no substitute for technical skills, I've come to realize that in building software products, the most important skill is communication skills. It's just as important as technical skills, if not more. On a day-to-day basis, your stakeholders, with your customers, with your peers. So building software products is really like a team sport, and you can't be successful and have fun in this team sport if you can't communicate and know when to pass the ball. So
awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something you learn along in your career journey as you progress. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So as you're leading the technology space, Tulasi, so we're seeing the need of the modernization of the software, the systems architecture, and it's become imperative for the digital transformation. So to be able to create a successful transformation at scale, we are eagerly looking for diverse talent to join us in this journey. So as an engineering manager and leader, what are your thoughts of hiring diverse talent, and your advice for the candidates who are looking for jobs at JPMorgan?
Yeah, at Chase, we are building products for a diverse set of communities and consumers, right? As such, it's very imperative for us that the teams building these products reflect the communities and the customers we serve. You can build a great product without the ability to empathize with your customer. So a diverse team from varying backgrounds, from varying cultures can actually bring in different perspective, and that becomes key to the success of the product and the company, essentially. So it's like somebody else had mentioned previously, it's just not the right thing to do. It is a competitive advantage for us to be able to do it well. The advice I would give candidates is do not be intimidated by all the qualifications and skills that are listed on a job description, right? Research has shown again and again that a large percentage of women do not apply for jobs unless they think they have all the skills listed in a job posting. We are not looking for candidates with all the skills all the time. We are looking for good software engineers who are willing to learn and are driven to grow. So also know that I would like our participants to know that Chase spends enormous amounts of time, money, and resources towards coaching and training all their employees. So as a manager who's hiring, I would be more interested in someone with a drive and the mental agility to learn new things versus someone who can check a bunch of boxes today, but has a hard time adapting. So if you're interested in a job, please go ahead and apply. Don't let the list of skill sets stop you.
It's amazing that you said that, Tulasi. I think, I'm sure that a lot of people would be, interested to network with you and, understand perspectives. I think that's beautifully put. You're right. I think a lot of people hesitate to apply to job reading at the enormous descriptions that we usually have. So I think it would be great to work with a leader like yourself, who is open to actually accepting a holistic, candidate with different varied skill and diverse talent as well. Thanks for sharing all the insights.
Thank you.
And thanks for taking time to speak with us. So now we'd like to invite Arup Nanda onto the stage. Arup is the Chief Architect of JPMorgan Enterprise Cloud Data Ecosystem, and he's also the leader of Foundational Engineering Systems. Arup has been a great ally to women in tech, and he's instrumental in bringing the architecture and the engineering awareness to the whole firm. Hey, Arup, thanks for joining us. And I have the same question for you as I'm asking all the other panelists today. So we would love to know a little bit about you and your career journey. So tell us something about you believed earlier in your career and think of it differently right now.
Hi, Manusa. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me here. It's an honor and privilege to be here today. And so in terms of what I learned from my beginning of my career, my core values haven't changed much. Nothing significantly has become different, and which I did not know before. If I could just crystallize on only one thing, which I wish I knew before, is that in the beginning of my career, I thought I had to be right in whatever I say. And I realized much later towards the end is that it's not important to be just right. It's important to be effective. And that takes a lot of variables. Being right is just one of them, and definitely not in the high in the totem pole. Trust is the number one thing in that totem pole. So it's super important to develop a trust, influence, etc. Of course, being right helps, but that's not the only thing. And it's what's paramount important in that to be successful as a leader is that to be successful and to be actually effective in what you're doing.
Awesome. That's a great learning, Arup. Thanks for sharing that with us. So regarding, as we build large-scale enterprise architecture, Arup, and this is, JPMorgan is an enormously, complex organization. So, and you have been pivotal in working across, the JPMorgan board and organization to enable a true data management platform. So as we are looking to build, talent for cloud native services, and as we heard, we have over 4,000 plus jobs open in this domain. What are the types of jobs that we have open in the cloud, data, AI, ML platform spaces? Who are the candidates that we are seeking, and what do hiring managers exactly look for in the interview process itself?
So first of all, we have to understand that our company, JPMC, is just not a banking company. And we are a 130-year-old company. Obviously, we have banks, we have investment banking, as well as portfolio management, etc. But most people probably do not know this, or maybe do not realize that we are actually an extremely big technology company as well. For example, we have a blockchain platform called Onyx that is world's first in developing the blockchain-based value transactions. That is something probably people didn't realize that we actually have it. We also have, we are a pioneer in quantum computing. Again, most people don't realize that we are in the pioneer of quantum computing in that. Which sounds like a very academic exercise, but we're actually trying to apply that into our technology practices as well. And of course, as most people talked about in the morning, is that the data itself is a lifeblood of our company, but who produces the data, who cleanses it, who checks the quality of it, who makes sure that it's actually stitched together, who uses it to create machine learning products, etc. And a significant part of it goes into everything about management, technology management, not just the data management itself. Of course, I'm a little bit partial towards data management because I'm in that area. But if you look at it, we have multiple kinds of skill sets, everything from AI, ML research to quantum computing to the blockchains to data management in the cloud space, etc. For a 130-year-old, we are pretty cool that way. And so I would encourage you that if you have any kind of skill set, it's very likely that we have a need of it. And actually, we have more than 4,000 jobs. We have actually more than, I mean, if you include non-technology jobs, we have way more than that. And most of the jobs are not necessarily binary. It's not necessarily technology or non-technology. It could be just all of them. So regardless of your background, we have everything from mainframe database, mainframe systems, all the way to, as I mentioned, to your quantum computing. So please take a look at it. And most of you will probably realize that you have a career opportunity at this point to grow into the next level. And this is probably the one you'll be wishing for. And I would like to conclude with one thing. Why JPMorgan? Why not everything else? Our firm is going to spend upwards of $12 billion. And let me just pause for a second here and stress on the word $12 billion in technology alone in this year. That's like a GDP of some countries and probably a gross revenue of many Fortune 100 companies as well. So just imagine that thing. So we are not in here for the short term. We are here for the long term. We have the financial muscle to put behind it, go for the kill toward the end of it as well. So having a career, leading something, putting something to your name, seeing it to the completion, we can provide that platform for you. And if you have the passion, the drive, and the right kind of attitude, here is the place to be successful. And with everything else we want to accomplish, it is extremely vital that we bring this passion and all together. So if you want to build something, come build for us, with us.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Arup. I mean, those are like, spot on insights. And I think for the listeners, it is actually a great opportunity to hear on, how much of investment is actually put into technology landscape today, and how serious we are into this whole digital transformation journey that we are embarking right now. So thanks, for encouraging, the listeners, and I'm sure that they have gotten a lot of information, and I'm sure that they're going to network and learn more from yourself as well. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now we would now look into how JPMorgan is transforming into a product-driven company and how we're looking to do business development. I would like to invite Zubair Quasi on the stage, please. Zubair is head of technology futures. He's head of customer success for core development. He's instrumental to conduct research on industry top trends, DevOps. He conducts extensive POCs and also takes care of customer success through improving developer experience and productivity platforms. So hey, Zubair, thanks for taking time to join us today. Wondering, if you can tell us something about yourself as well. What did you believe earlier in your career and think of it differently right now?
Yeah, sure thing. I'm about 6 months old into the farm, so kind of a newbie. But in terms of career, when I started as a developer, I wanted to learn everything. I just wanted to know everything, and that definitely, gave me a learning that scaling yourself is probably one of the key aspects that you need to learn as you grow in your career. And as I moved into the management, I also learned to see that a lot of people have talked about this, that you cannot be everywhere. you cannot just have the technology skills or just the management skills, right? So management and leadership gets into an art and a science, mix of art and a science. And I had great mentors. That's what I believe in, that you need to have mentors. But the biggest learning that I have sort of learned is that, empowering others, and you should have empathy as you grow. So it should be a part of your daily aspect all the time.
Thanks, Zubair. I think it's a great point. Empathy is very critical no matter which role you are in and which job you're actually taking. So thanks for those insights. Great learning. So tell us, in your 6 month journey as an organization, we are evaluating different technologies and solutions. So we're trying to accelerate modernization journey. So any insights you could share with us today? What are the areas that we're looking in terms of evaluation and adoption process that you can share?
Yeah, sure. I mean, let me see if I can, and how much I can share about which areas we're looking into. But, just as you mentioned, that our goal is to increase the overall developers' productivity, and that will eventually help us get into this modernization goal that the farm has, right? So as we analyze these different processes and tools, one of the most important thing is that, we need to understand is something that we can build or we should buy. Should we go for the bleeding edge technology, or we should just stick to what is right for us? And as we go through this process, we also see that it's the right investment for our business or not, right? So as we are actually morphing into say, okay, you know what, this is an organization that should be looking into this, and this is the right solution for the company, and this actually fits into the technology aspect that we are looking into. But we also need to look into the security aspect, the maturity of the technology, and importantly, whether it can scale for a company of our size or not, right? So everybody talked about, we have around like 55,000 plus technologies in the farm. How effectively and quickly we can actually roll out something. And as we roll this out, whether the farm will actually get the benefit out of this in the short term or in the long term. So a lot of aspects we look into and try them out and do the POCs. And one of the key aspects of the POC is that we partner with the LOBs to be part of the POC as we work with the outside vendors, or even if you are building internally. So for folks that are listening in and thinking about different opportunities that actually JPMorgan offers, and I'm going to piggyback on what Anupa was saying, that it's a technology company. There's so much work that's going on, and the sheer size of the company and the complexity it has, it gives you an immense opportunity to learn, innovate, and have a greater impact in your career and for the farm.
Awesome. Thanks, Zubair. That's great insights. So thanks for taking time to speak with us today. So at this point in time, we want to bring our bring back Monica Panpallia back to the stage again. So Monica, we have covered today a lot of topics around, navigating JPMorgan, the culture, doing business with with Zubair coming in and sharing insights. Allyship, Stephen spoke a lot about that. Technology landscape, control of data, which Sarita spoke about. So when while I'm thinking about wrapping this panel discussion, I'd like to ask you about how companies are invited to develop innovation, and why would we look for women-led owned companies and such?
Yeah, I think it's a great wrap up. Innovation comes from everywhere. And what I pride ourselves in is looking for the diversity and having the DNA for innovation. Women-led companies is something really important to us. We have a global supplier diversity program. We spend about 2.5 billion a year on businesses that are owned by minorities. So let's make sure that we are providing that access. And I do believe that this is such a great engagement. So when a company like JPMorgan Chase that has the aspirations to continue to be the number one in financial services can partner with Women in Cloud, where again you have similar goals to create $1 billion of access for women, we can really make magic happen. So do connect with us on the global supplier diversity piece. And the last thing I'll say is I have been really struck in the last year and a half that I've been here with the quality of leadership and the different industries that everybody's coming from, whether it's healthcare or tech, banking or aerospace. And so there's definitely an innovation spirit and a sense of inclusion here. Mansa, thoroughly enjoyed the panel. I'll turn it back to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Monica. Thanks so much for sharing those insights. And I would like to thank all the speakers, along with Monica yourself, who joined us today, for taking time to provide us guidance, insights, and help us understand more about working at JPMorgan. And I'd like to thank Chai again to provide us the platform to discuss our thoughts and perspectives, and helping the audience understand why we have an amazing winning culture, as Kanti put it, in JPMorgan, and how we strongly encourage everybody in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusive philosophies. So I would like to hand it over to Chai. Back to you, and I will probably segue into the next session.
Mansa, I want you to stay for a couple of seconds with me. First is, let's give a big round of applause for her. This was the largest panel anyone has moderated. I want everyone to show the love to you, because it was not easy, because we had a time cap. We had everybody to really tell the real nuggets that each one of us can engage with JPMorgan Chase. There were a couple. So thank you for doing that. We really, really appreciate what you did today. So you are a pro, and you did really well. So thank you for being here today. So there are a couple of things I also learned is, the thing that really struck my mind as I was listening is the Warren Buffett's, principle of how people need to show up on when you're hiring or when you're working is 3 I's. One is high integrity. If you have that, you can build high trust. Second is intelligence. You need intelligence to build some really cool innovation, and JPMorgan Chase has that ecosystem. And third is that you can take initiative to create some amazing stuff. If you have all those 3, then this is the company for you. So that would be my plug for all of you. If you're thinking about working with JPMorgan Chase, have the 3 I's and you are good to go. Do you agree with that, Mansa?
100%, Chai. Absolutely. Would love for anybody who's listening in, please reach out to us. We're more than happy to speak with you, answer all the questions you may have. And looking forward to understanding what are your career objectives, and how we can help you in the journey as well. So awesome. Again, Chai, thanks for the opportunity for all of us, and I'd like to thank the JPMorgan family as well to join us, taking time off the busy schedule to come with us.
Awesome, thank you. So you do mic off, camera off, and then we go to the most interesting piece. After that will be the networking piece, so stay tuned. So the segment that we do is really focusing on a solution showcase. These is entrepreneurs who are building amazing innovation, and they are women-led companies. So we have 2 of them today. One is Trace and Zipboard. So this is the place where Monica said it's $2.5 billion in global supplier spend. And we would love to be at least 10% of that spend should go to female tech founders. So what I would like all of you to do is really learn from them. There are 2 solutions. So I want to bring Geeta Ramaswamy. She is the CEO of Trace. She has built an AI-enabled early warning risk detection and monitoring businesses for companies like JPMorgan Chase to make key decisions such as underwriting, investing, extension of line of credit, and so on. So with that, Geeta, I'm passing the baton to you. Take it over. Let's give a big round of applause for Geeta.
Thank you so much, Chai. Just a second.
Do you need any help? You're good to go.
I'm good to go. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm really proud to be here and be able to present Trace to you today. And to begin with, I am Geeta Ramaswamy. I've been a technologist for the last 25 years. But the last 5 years, as a founder, I've been running my own data analytics firm that extracts insights from text and data to solve problems for my clients. Seeing this, one of our advisors, who is in credit risk related to commercial lending, came to us with a problem. His point was this: When doing a postmortem of losses, and in his case, he was referring to loan defaults for line of credits, he found that many credit losses were preventable. There was digital data hiding red flags for these businesses. And his point was that if only financial monitoring was combined with ongoing daily digital monitoring, they could have detected early warning signals even 6 months in advance and mitigated losses that they encountered. So our call to action was, how could we help them prevent losses by tangible digital monitoring? But when we looked at digital monitoring, we found, what is the challenge? Why is it such a big deal? Well, there is too much data, there is too little time, and there is really no way to quantify and measure subjective analysis and outcomes that we humans generate in an objective manner. So we looked at financial institutions and we looked at how do they overcome this digital monitoring gap? The simple answer is they don't continuously monitor the digital data of businesses. And even if they do, they are not combining that data with their financial data. In other words, if you look at the pie, the financial data aspect gets a big red, big green check mark, but the digital data has a big question mark, leaving a huge gap. So we decided to tackle that gap, and we filled it by creating a digital risk index, which we call the Business Sentiment Index. Simply put, it summarizes and quantifies digital information that's relevant to a particular business and captures leading indicators of business distress for that business. It ranges from -100 to +100 to indicate the most to least risky. Our vision was basically to be this index provider who can initially provide a digital risk index from subjective digital data. And if this can be in turn combined with financial metrics, you get an early warning risk index, which could be the probability of default for portfolio managers, or if for credit portfolio groups, it could be basically an input to their models that would let them decide to go long or short on an equity. So the trace system itself applies a DIP formula where you have a digital risk index where you're able to index the different entities in their descending order of risk because you now have a number. And thirdly, since you have data that goes 5 years or 10 years, you can actually have a good time series that allows you to predict 3 to 6 months in advance. Here's an example of the main dashboard of Trace, where we implement the DIP model, where you can see the entities that are rank ordered in their descending order of risk. You have the current risk index and then the predicted risk index. Now, if this digital index is interesting and maybe of value to you, then I invite you to come do a pilot with us. You can run Trace for 10 to 15 businesses in your portfolio and compare the ROI and value with what you currently have. And with that, I'd like to wrap up my presentation. Thank you so much for your time. And here are my contact details.
Awesome, Geeta. That was fantastic. I think every financial institution should be having this particular solution to manage their risk work. And thank you for doing this. What did you think? Wasn't it amazing? Like we have a DIP formula, we have a dashboard, we have a trackability. Man, that is good. That's what AI should be doing. So thank you, Geeta, for doing this. Now I would like to bring Bhavya Agarwal. She is the CEO of Zipboard, and they is a digital content management review platform helping improve the content feedback process. If you know that, if you build content, you know how painful the process is. And she has mastered the entirety of the process and made it simple. So let's bring her on the stage. Come on, Bhavya. Hopefully you can make it.
Much. I hope everybody can see me
and
my screen.
Yes,
so,
take a breather. Take a breather. We got this. You're doing great. So,
thank you.
Yep. So first is, you're good. Your screen is showing up. So I'm going to go off the screen. You have 5 minutes. Go for it.
Got it. Thank you so much. So thank you, first of all, Vic and all of you awesome people for giving me this opportunity to talk about my solution. You don't get a chance to have so many awesome creators listen to you about your innovation. Before I do that, I'm going to talk about myself. My name is Bhavya Agarwal. I am an aerospace engineer turned developer turned entrepreneur. I've been working with remote distributed teams for more than 10 years, building products, managing QA teams, developing content. And like Chess said, it is a painful process, right? While building all these content and products, in fact, I realized that I was constantly taking screenshot of stuff, making my notes, attaching it to email, attaching it to a Jira ticket, and it was just not working. Like, it's just not something. And I'm sure what I experienced in the past year, past 10 years, you guys experienced in the past 2 years for sure. And I'm sure at a much larger scale because you collaborate with lot many people. So I understand every business today, it's a huge amount of digital assets, whether you're creating websites, products, videos, content, you name it, right? Each one of them requires a lot of feedback from stakeholders, whether you're talking to your clients, getting feedback. It takes a village, like everybody's saying, to build everything. Definitely takes a village to build any digital product today. And the funny part is everything comes with a visual interface, right? Like there is a visual interface, you're drawing something, there's a dashboard, but all that interaction and all that feedback is still managed in spreadsheets. It's painful. Like imagine like keeping that interface on one side and spreadsheet on the other side, which is painful, which is manual, which is, it takes away a lot of time and money for sure. That's where really Zipboard comes in. We are trying to make the entire process of collaboration visual when you're collaborating on products. If you're collaborating on products, you may as well mark up and make your comments and say, you know what, this needs to be changed. Of this. So why not embed the markup and commenting tools directly on top of the product that you're building rather than having to do it the other way around and then manage in spreadsheets and whatnot. Some of our customers, they manage feedback from beta testers, which tends to be in thousands. And we also understand that feedback now needs to be processed and managed. You need to have a dashboard to be able to segregate through that feedback. So we have tools to manage that as well. But we also give you flexibility to build it into your own process if you're using TFS, Azure DevOps, Jira, or if you have your own internal dashboard, you can bring all that data to your own dashboard. And essentially what we have seen is that not only it's useful for the internal teams, it's extremely useful for clients and non-technical stakeholders, because now they're not like wondering, how do we give this feedback? How do we make sure everything is in one place? We've helped create feedback easier for web development, for digital learning, for construction projects, for even marketing operations like websites, landing pages, and whatnot. So my ask today from all of you awesome creators, cloud creators, is how can we build your process? How can we get your process to be more visual, your collaboration to be more visual? How can we make JPMorgan, as they're saying that you want to modernize your processes? How can Zipboard? We would love to have a conversation with you guys to understand how we can make your collaboration better and more visual. While I'm here, if there are any still questions, I would love to hear from everyone.
Thank you, Bhavya, for the presentation. That was fantastic. So here's what I will ask each one of you is, what were your takeaways knowing 2 products that you get to learn, which was built by women-led, innovators? So that's how I look at it. So thank you, Bhavya, for sharing it. And anyone who is interested to learn more, please go check out the 2 links that I just shared. You can request an introduction to them or you want to do a pilot, you can request a pilot with them. So please take a moment to do that. It will be the most, I would say the best gift you can give an entrepreneur is get them in front of the customer. So can I count on all of you to get them in front of the customers? Yes?
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
Bhavya.
Shai. And thank you, Monica. I'll reach out to you. Thanks.
Absolutely. Now coming to the most awaited session, which is the advisory roundtables. I promise I will try to keep it very short on this one. So as part of the advisory roundtables, this time we actually did decision is how to become a technology leader, how to become a digital officer, how to become, I would say, explore the corporate development role. So those are kind of things, it's like becoming the leaders in the JPMorgan Chase if you're looking for opportunities. So my first question is, how many of you are looking for jobs today? Put +1 in the chat. Okay, we got the first one. Excellent. So we have few of you who are going to be here. So there are a couple of ways how I want each one of you to engage in the roundtable. The first one is you get to meet all the JPMorgan Chase leaders. As we talked about, we will be looking at the topics, which is a technology leader, navigating the company, corporate development, and recruiting. Those are your 4 topics. If that is an interest, that's the place you need to go. We will bring in the advisors, so they will tell you what they are looking for. We'll ask them to reverse pitch. If you're sitting in a table all by yourself, whether it's an advisor or an attendee, please don't do it. Don't be shy, just join another table. It's just double clicking and we'll show you how the lounge works. Third one is we have 25 minutes and we will actually do 2 rounds. First round we'll come back and see what worked, what did not work, and then bring you back into the second round of networking. Will that work for all of you? Yes? Give me a thumbs up saying that this is going to work. Okay, so with that, let me show you the layout, how it's going to look like. So if you click on the 4 arrows on the screen, which has the design of the lounge area, if you open it up, what it will show you is there are coffee bar, you have a concierge desk, but their open networking means you can meet with anyone. I will be in an open networking space, but there will be area which is around technology leader, corporate development underneath the table. You need to pick which table you want to connect with. And you also get to know which advisor is going to be leading that place. So that one will help you to really manage your conversation. Sounds good? With that, I'm going to have all the advisors to start coming on the stage. So we'll do a quick interview and you get to know who you are talking to today. Okay, so let's bring them on. Mic on, camera on. And we have amazing advisors. Just hold a moment. Technology, we have to bring everybody on the stage. While they're coming on, what are you looking forward to talking at the advisory tables? What's on your top of your mind? Tell me. What are you thinking? What do you want to learn today? Thank you. We got the first person. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Can you see me, hear me well?
Yes, yes. Stephanie is here. Hello, Stephanie. Great to see you here.
Hi, good to see you.
Yep. Smriti, welcome. Yes, what are you thinking about? Not the speakers, but the attendees. What is on top of your mind that you want to explore with the advisors today? Okay, as we bring everyone, so I want to start with each one of you. I will start with you, Smriti. 10 seconds. Tell me who you are, what you do, and what are you looking for? Reverse pitch to the audience. What are you looking for? And they will come and find you because they will create access for you too.
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Smriti. I'm one of the technology leaders in JPMorgan. I've been in this industry for 17 years. Currently, what I'm focused on is on the framework that helps transfer data from on-prem to AWS cloud. So any SDLC controls, pipelines, all the latest cool technology stacks that you can think of, that's all we're working on. I'm here basically to help you guys out. I know a lot of you have questions. You do not have connects. You don't know what's cloud, what's there in it. We are excited. We want to join. We don't know what's the lead, how to begin with it. If you want answers to any of those questions, please feel free to connect with me.
Thank you, Smriti. For everyone who's going to speak, 10 seconds to 15 seconds. That's the one. Trying to be quick. Ankita, you're next.
Thank you, Chai, for providing an amazing platform. And hello, everyone. I recruit for West Coast, specifically West Coast, but feel free to reach out to me for any type of jobs you're looking for. And I'll be happy to help you find a way to figure out what is the right role, and we can discuss more on the table. Thank you, Chai.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ankita. Padmasana Sarkar.
Hey, thanks, Chai. Thank you for giving me this chance. I am working with JPMC for talent acquisition team. So I'm here looking for talent. Please reach out to me. And I'm based out of New Jersey. Looking forward to network with you all. Thank you.
Awesome. Chrissy.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Previty. I work in product management for data migration. I've been at GPM for 9 years, and I've worked in New York and Hong Kong offices. So I'm excited to connect with all of you and help you navigate your career and encourage you to take risks to achieve your goals.
Awesome. Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Palumbo. I've been in technology and financial services for quite some time. I've been with JPMorgan a long time, so looking forward to answering any and all questions that you guys have on JPMorgan. I've worked in a number of different areas, so I do have a lot of experience throughout the bank.
Awesome. Sage.
Hi, everyone. Sage. I'm part of the AIML team in JP. I think I can share quite a bit from having made an industry pivot from academia 2.5 years ago. So I've been with JP for 2.5 years. Looking forward to connecting with everybody.
Thank you, Sage. Stephanie.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm the head of product for AI ML lifecycle management and governance in JPMC. I've been in the financial services industry for 25 plus years already. All of this is quite exciting. A lot of new technology is helping us here. My current role is driving the ML platform product vision and the strategic transformation in AI ML.
Awesome. And Ms. Chen, I cannot say your name, so
no problem at all. Yeah, my name is Guang Jing. I'm also a technology leader on the AIML side, but I'm more on the applied AIML and the transforms commercial banking business using the AIML and into cloud. So if you have any, and before I joined JPMorgan 2 years ago, I was working at different tech companies. So if you are interested in how we use the technology and how we transform from high tech to financial industry, just any question on that front, just feel free to join my table, and happy to chat more.
Thank you so much for what you're doing. You're giving the best valuable time and creating access for others within the JPMorgan Chase. And all the attendees, when you're meeting with them, make sure you ask them to what they are looking for so you can create access. Access is bi-directional, so make time. So for all the advisors, you can do mic off, camera off. We'll do a quick video to show you how to navigate. But as you are in the lounge area, make sure you switch on your mic and camera to have a conversation. It's very important. If it doesn't work, refresh your browser, have an updated Chrome so you can have a conversation with them. So with that, let's have a quick video on how to navigate the Remo environment. And then we will put you all in the lounge area for first 15 minutes for networking. And then we'll come back and then we'll do a second round of networking. Sounds good? Give me a thumbs up if you understood. Thumbs up. Okay, excellent. All the attendees, do you understand what the steps are?
Hi there, and welcome to Remo. I'm Paul Trainer, and I'd like to share a few tips and tricks for navigating the platform, which will definitely enhance your Remo experience. Now,
So everyone clear how to navigate the lounge area when we go back? Give me +1 if you understood. We have a couple of more people from JPMorgan Chase, which I want to bring them on the stage. We have Bianca and Miss, I cannot say your name. Please come on the stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bianca Saez. It's so great to have you here at this special event. I have been with JPMorgan Chase for 3 years and in the financial services industry for the past 15 years. I am a member of the Product Agility and Transformation team, so I look forward to talking to each of you on the Navigating the Firm table.
Thank you, Bianca. And then Miss, I would say, I think there's one more person. It's Wixia, so please come on the stage. We would love to have you too.
Hi, yeah, this is Wisha. Thanks, Chitra. Yeah, I joined the JPMC 18 months ago, and I'm leading the global SI team focused on the cloud and data. And we have a lot of hiring opening. If you're interested to learn and grow with us, please feel free to reach out to me. Thanks.
Fantastic. So thank you so much. We have the full slate of advisors supporting us today. So we can go back to the lounge. I will have the producer move us to the lounge right now. Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned for the networking. You'll have fun. Conversation. Did you like it? Yes. Anyone interested to come on the stage with me, raise your hand. I'll bring you on. I want to know, how was that conversation? So let's bring you, we have a couple of people. Let's get to you, Arup and Stephanie. Let's get them on the stage. Hi, Arup, how was it? Stephanie, how was it?
Very
I thought it was fun.
Very short, right?
Yeah, I wish it was much longer, because that's I think just.
Sure. And Meg, how was it for you?
Thank you so much for having me here. As someone who is just recently diving into the transition from wine actually into tech, it's awesome to sit here and see all these people that have been there, done that, and to have it just reconfirmed that, yes, soft skills can help as you transition. There are hard skills, but not to be overwhelmed with that. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And anything you took away from the conversation?
Yes. So the first thing I brought away was that there's a lot of interest about coming to a financial services company. Some people had think I don't work today in a financial services company. I work in non-profit or what it was, say whatever. How difficult it is for me to adapt to it. I want to assure that is list of your concerns to go from in a different industry domain. What's important is your skill set and your adaptability and your passion for learning something. That is a key. Financial services or not doesn't really matter. And besides, as I mentioned, we have tons of opportunities in all kinds of areas. So it's not like a fintech or something. That's all. That's the list of the concerns.
Awesome. And Padma and
Yeah,
Stephanie.
hi. Yes, I agree with Arup on that. Like this was really short. We had a couple of us, and I tried staying put in one table. People were coming and going. So it was good to know that there is a general great interest about JPMorgan, which is good to see. And since I'm from talent acquisition, I could briefly talk to people who are looking for potential opportunities with us. And of course, we had technical leaders in the table who could answer all the questions on the technology. And of course, I connected with Meg. We already have set up a meeting for Monday, right? Yes.
Awesome. And Smriti, how was it at your table? And Stephanie?
Oh, that was very nice. I think one of the reasons, I'll keep it very short. The reason I wanted to come here and say was a lot of you have, a lot of questions of how is it to be in JP? How do we connect and those things. We couldn't answer all the questions.
She froze.
If you have LinkedIn connections, please don't feel that if this ends, you have lost touch with any of us. If you're interested, connect with us. We will guide you. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of career growth available along with work-life balance. So please do not stop here. Connect with either of us and we'll help you through.
Awesome.
I thought
Yes,
it was good, interactive, although a little short. One of the things I thought that maybe you could do better is that clearly label the table where there are people looking for buyers of the innovation versus looking for a career opportunity and how to navigate a financial services company. So I got two different kind of topics going on the same table. But I think one of the things I wanted to mention to Meg is that I've always really liked this quote from Maya Angelou that says, "Nothing will work unless you do." And remember what Lauren said, she's changed and she never really sort of pigeonholed herself in a particular role. So that is really just a simple thing, that's a spirit. As long as you have the grit and then want to do something, anything can be done.
Awesome. So here's what the surprise for all of you. We'll go for a second round of networking. And for entrepreneurs, please go to the innovation table. And for all the people who are looking for career opportunities, go to the career opportunity table. So as an advisor, please direct people to the right table because you know the person they should be talking to and tell them to go to that. Okay, with that, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go back to the networking place for 10 more minutes and we'll come back, wrap it up, and then we get to enjoy Friday and the weekend. Okay, will that be good? Okay, let's take us to the lounge. Come with me and spend time with me. Okay, excellent. So first is thank you all. I just want to know is what were your takeaways from this session and what one action you will take to build relationship with JPMorgan Chase? Go ahead, put it in the chat. My takeaway was JPMorgan Chase leaders are very talented, high integrity, and high intelligence, and they make things happen. So that one was awesome. They fit my methodology that I've adopted from Warren Buffett. So that one was something I took away. And second is I would love to explore more partnership opportunity with the people at JPMorgan Chase so we can bring more interesting experience like that. And then the community says is no questions is a dumb question. So true. Ask for help when you need it is right there. Human connection to JPMorgan Chase was a wonderful opportunity. So key takeaway is JPMorgan Chase cares deeply about diversity and inclusion, and they have a process for partnership for women and diverse founder business. Fantastic. We have achieved the outcomes. So here's what we do. A lot of the leaders actually have raised their hand to really advise each one of you. Going to the next slide is they are available and they are participating in the Cloud Leaders Circle, which is really designed to help you meet with them, connect with them, explore opportunity. So request warm introduction. That's the number one ask, and we are facilitating it over the last 48 hours. Probably we have done like closer to 50 plus introductions just with the JPMorgan Chase ecosystem. So it's been pretty fun to see that there was such a big interest. So how does it work? So I'll do a quick 1-minute video, which I want you to watch, and then I'll come back and share a couple of things, and then we'll wrap the day. Sounds good? Okay, go ahead and share the video. Is that clear for all of you how to even go about requesting an introduction? Once you have requested in the back end, what we do is a double opt-in. So the advisors will be sent an email. If they accept it, then automatically an introduction is made and you can take it from there. Schedule a 30-minute call, learn from them. If you want to continue a mentorship session, you can move forward. That's kind of how it works, but you have to take action. As Stephanie says, nothing will work unless you do. And that's by Maya Angelou. That's why you have to take action. So the other thing is the long-awaited annual access pass, which was really created to ensure that you have access to amazing opportunities. This is the first time we are rolling out. So if you're interested, please apply. We have a page available so you can go and understand. We have one for the individual, one for the corporate, so that it allows the companies to really have access pass for the employees and really integrate a DE&I program that allows them to integrate with the community. And for individual, if you're looking for personal growth and professional growth, that is accessible for you. So explore that. Going to the next one, there are three other two upcoming events that are happening. One is the International Women's Day, which is on March 31st. It's all about mastering executive leadership and presence. You get to learn, you get to connect, and you get to take action. Don't miss out. It's a 4-hour programming. And the second one, which is happening the next week, which is the CXO series with Accenture, focused on data and AI, how you need to think about, you get to CXO leaders and you get to connect with them. So with that, I would love to say thank you all. Hopefully you all had a great time. Thank you for joining, and we will see you next week if you're going to come with us and hang out and learn together. Again, thank you. Have a great Friday and a weekend.